Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Elmhurst City Council for Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025. I'd ask if you would all please rise and join in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Clerk Tamer, please call the roll.
Udera.
Here.
Virgil.
Here.
Nardini.
Here.
Bastido. Here. Irby.
Here.
Brennan. Absent. Varimus. Absent. Bellinger.
Here.
Shanko. Here. Hill.
Here.
Graham.
Here.
Jensen.
Here.
Toludo.
Here.
Baker.
Here.
12 present, 2 absent.
12 present, 2 absent. We have a quorum. Moving on to item 3, receipt of written communications. Is there anyone in the audience that has a written communication that he or she would like to deliver to the council? Not public comment, written communications. If so, please raise your hand. All right, seeing none, we'll move on to public forum. Clerk Tamer, is anyone signed up for public forum?
Yes, Mayor. Lori Buzzell.
Right, so we'll use the back microphone. Go ahead, you can approach. Adjust the back one behind you. There it is. And adjust it as you need. State your name. Address is optional, but it will help us to get in touch with you if we need to follow up. You have 3 minutes to speak about whatever topic you like. Please proceed.
Okay, I'm Lori Buzzell. Okay, so I just wanted to speak to the agenda item 6.6 about the parking with the stopping. I think it's a real safety concern and one that shouldn't be ignored. I agree that the city should work to do something about this. Is like when I'm First and Addison by the Mark, where you're adding parking.
Don't be afraid of the microphone because we're recording it and everyone needs to hear.
Sorry.
There you go. Go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you.
So at First and Addison, where the Mark is, adding parking to accommodate delivery trucks. This is a real safety concern and one that shouldn't be ignored, and I do agree the city should work to do something about it, but I do not believe the city alone should work to address the problem. It's difficult to find a long-term solution, especially given the narrow roadway due to the Mark's build. That area has always been a tight area of activity, which makes it hard to believe a dedicated delivery area wasn't incorporated into the design. It feels like a big oversight because Addison has continually had annual average daily traffic numbers, higher ones. Addison also plays a unique role in diverting traffic in multiple directions at the railroad crossings. These two factors have always been. And I don't agree that 2-hour parking be created in addition to 10-minute parking. And then one mention in the report that I don't understand, so I'm gonna read this exactly. It says no parking at this location will be required in the future following the roadway improvements driven by the train station project. So I don't know if there's any new plans about the Metra that anyone has that could give the public, because I don't remember seeing anything new.
All right, thank you. And just so there's no disappointed expectations, we take public comment. We generally don't respond, but we certainly want to hear the public comment. You may, if you want to turn them in, you can hand them to Clerk Tamer.
I'll give it to the clerk.
Or pass it down. Thank you. All right. Thank you.
Next, we have Ellen Greer.
Ms. Greer.
Hello, my name is Ellen Greer, and I live on Larch Avenue, and these comments are a combined effort of concerned citizens. I respectfully request the report 6.6 First Street parking restrictions be taken back to the Public Affairs and Safety Committee for further discussion, documentation, and supporting data, including alternative choices. It is not logical that the police suddenly saw an uptick in 2025 in stopping, standing any more than any previous years. The homeowners' preferences and needs who traverse on First Street to and from their homes between Addison Street and West Avenue, or from College View over the tracks at Murder or Maple, should be considered over the fact that somehow the city allowed the Mark to be built without a delivery door. It is not enough to say striping is already ongoing to justify this, or simply provide a drawing. There is an alley with parking to the rear that needs to be analyzed, and before we alter First Street yet again to the detriment of homeowners, the MARC should address solving their own delivery problems with the city that does not involve these significant accommodations. Public safety includes those traveling by car, by bicycle, or on foot, and is not just a stopping and standing issue. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Kathy Rutkowski. Oh, okay, I'm
All
sorry.
right, all right, those are, all right. Next.
Frank Cannizzaro.
Hello, everyone. I'm Frank Catanzaro, 556 West Fay here in Elmhurst. I'm here about in opposition of the proposed combined bicycle pedestrian path that runs through 15 driveways on Fay Avenue. I'm a little disappointed that it seems the City Council's fast-tracking this project. You know, I've spoken with many of the aldermen in this room, and most of them have never been on Fay Avenue. There are many concerns that the residents and the people in the area who are here have about this project, but time is short, so I'm going to speak on what's most important. Number one, safety. That's all it's all about. Number one is safety. I mean, after all, that's what the bridge going over 83 is all about, safety, getting people over Route 83 safely. You know, I'm not sure there's a need for this because we have a prairie path in town, but apparently the City Council has determined there's a large contingent of people from the north side of Elmhurst who have a need to cross 83 around Fay Avenue. If there is a great need, then there'll be considerable traffic. Some people on the City Council have said, you know, there won't be much traffic. If that would be the case, then I don't see the need. Back to safety. We get people safely over 83 coming and going. We funnel all of them through 15 home driveways on Fay Avenue, 30 feet from their doorways, putting everyone in harm's way. Cars pulling in and out of driveways all day long. E-bikes and scooters, which are allowed on paths now, zipping through driveways at high speeds. You know, people walking dogs, going to their mailbox, putting their garbage cans out, children walking to and from school, parents with babies and strollers. I mean, everyone is at risk. This is dangerous. It's dangerous. Simply is not enough reaction time pulling out of your driveway. Who's irresponsible when an accident happens? A bike could veer off a driveway. You know, who's responsible? Insurance, lawsuits, lots of issues and concerns that are being caused by putting a bike path through driveways. You know, it doesn't make any sense. You solve one problem and you cause a much larger, more dangerous problem. You know, we all need to be careful, and accidents happen. This past summer, a child was struck and killed in a driveway. You know, my thoughts and prayers are with that family. It's horrific. It's unthinkable. It's devastating. It can happen under normal circumstances. You know, with 10 or 20 times the traffic, the chances of a tragic accident are much more, you know. I have to think there'll be more traffic, or why do the project? You know, in my opinion, you're irresponsibly making a decision to put people in harm's way. It's not if, but when something will happen. You're the decision makers on this project. Ultimately, you'll be responsible, and you're going to have to live with that guilt if something happens. When I asked the engineer at the June meeting, I'm going to wrap up. When I asked the engineer at the June meeting if he'd want a bike path through his driveway, he said no. You know, we peppered him with questions. I think he wasn't too happy about all of it, but I finally then asked him, and he said no. You know, I think if I pulled everyone in this room, overwhelmingly, you would say no. Why? Why would you say no?
You're about 3.5 minutes, so please.
I'm finishing up.
Okay.
The reason you would say no is because it's not safe. You know what he said? He said he feels for me, and he wishes there was another way. Let's work together, have a compromise, a better, safer way. I implore you, let common sense prevail here. It's not too late to do the right thing. I know you're all good people here. I know you are, and you try to do what's best for Elmhurst. Putting a dangerous path through driveways is not what's
All right,
best.
we're at 4 minutes. I'm going to ask you to stop, but thank you.
One second. I just have to say, if you're not going to vote no, at least 60 days maybe, to let people, table it so that people can be better informed if you're not going to vote no. Thank you. Thank you for listening and for the few extra seconds.
Nancy Cicero.
Repeat.
Nancy Cicero.
Nancy. Am I saying the name wrong? It was,
Nancy, it's you.
no, there's not. Oh, okay,
All right.
so there's a no. Okay, that's all right.
Thank you for your comments.
Marissa Verbera?
No.
You're also.
All right.
okay.
Nice to meet everyone. Yeah.
So Olivia Levine? Yeah, okay. Oh, wait, I missed somebody. I'm so sorry.
We'll go back. That's all right.
Okay.
You're up there. Go ahead, and we'll go to the next one.
Hi. For the record, they're both opposing this bike path as well. Right? Okay. Hi, my name is Olivia Levine. I am a resident on Fay Avenue, and I'm an active member of my kids' school board in the community. I have 2 young children, ages 2 and 4, who will be growing up on this street and this neighborhood and will want access to all of the parts of Elmhurst, but also we want safety first before anything else. And I'm here in opposition of the bike path that is planned to be added to our street. No one that I have spoken to in the last 2 years has been in favor of this. Alderman Hill, I know from several conversations with you, with your neighbors, that your specific area of the neighborhood vehemently denied this being added to their neighborhood, to their cul-de-sacs of that part. And I just plead with all of you to have the same grace with us when we're speaking these concerns, because it is incredibly dangerous what's going to be happening here. There's Emerson School that's right there. West and Fay is already so busy in the mornings with traffic, from foot traffic, bike pack, the kids walking to school. There's only the one stop sign on Fay. So it's not like we have a 4-way stop that we're coming to there. We're all it's already very congested and dangerous. I don't think we need to add anything else. Additionally, there's also, I believe it's 8 new builds that are going in on our street, as well as the Wagner Center that's going to be completely redone. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be great. Very happy about the new builds on our street, but there's no way to conduct a proper, thorough, accurate traffic study until that is all complete. You will have no idea how busy our street will be until those homes are all complete and until Wagner Center is complete, because we are a direct line that a lot of people take to get to school, their children to school safely, the children riding their bikes to school, because they don't want their children riding on West. They want them to take that back path. There's going to be e-bikes, as Frank mentioned. That's a whole other thing that we're going to be introducing that's going to be dangerous for our small children that are trying to just, again, safely get to school on an already very busy road. Basically, this is a bad decision in all aspects for not only residents of Fay, but for the residents of Elmhurst. If you want to put in a bike path that goes across 83, there needs to be a better location for it than a street that's already very busy, that's already being developed to be even busier, and is highly, highly populated by children every single day of the week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tony de Blasio?
Tony?
I'm sorry, I switched you guys around on that. Yeah, sorry.
Hi, good evening. My name is Tony de Blasio. I live at 540 West Fay Avenue in Elmhurst, and I've lived there since 2018. I understand the city wants to move forward with the pedestrian bike bridge over Route 83. You can tell just by looking at the consent agenda tonight that you folks have lined up agreements and ordinances and everything to move that project forward. I'm not here tonight to speak about the bridge over Route 83. I'm here to speak about the proposed 8-foot wide path that is being proposed to connect from that bridge and run directly down our street to the east across 15 driveways. Right at the intersection, this is your bridge where it lands in the Forest Preserve, and it's going to run right down Fay Avenue. Right here at the end of Fay Avenue is West Avenue. And if you ever want to see a super highway first thing in the morning when the kids are going to school, just sit on that corner for about a half an hour and you'll be amazed with how many people are driving on that street in the morning, walking their kids to school, and especially when school lets out around 2:30 or 3, it's another super highway, followed soon after that by the rush hour, which begins because people don't want to take Route 83 to get to their homes. They all come filing down West Avenue, and on an average work night, there's 20 or 30 cars lined up at West Avenue trying to get past North Avenue. It's an extremely busy area, and to put this bike path, which is only going to invite more people to the area and put them in dangerous situations, I'm sorry, it doesn't make sense, and I've already addressed that at the last city council meeting. Following that last meeting, it became clear that the city was moving forward with some type of bridge plan, and we got together with our neighbors. I agree with everything everybody said tonight. I couldn't have said it better than they did. And I thank them for that, and I hope the city council listens. But as a result of that, we got together and we set up a town hall meeting. It's this Thursday at 6 p.m. And it was to invite the city officials to come and see the area firsthand and see how dense it is. Right on that corner, there are 6 children that live in that first house. Then there's another house, my house, 2 children under the age of 3 or 4 at the next house. My neighbor lives right across the street. I see kids coming in and out of your house all day. God bless you. But there are a lot of children on that street. I want to thank the mayor for accepting our invitation to attend Thursday night. I think that's wonderful. Some of the other aldermen and alderwomen have agreed to attend that meeting as well, again, to see firsthand what we're dealing with. And I think that dialogue is critically important here. I agree with Mr. Catanzaro that it's a great idea to just put the brakes on this thing for a while, to listen to the people that live on the street and see it every day. You don't need a traffic study, you don't need consultants, you don't need engineers to figure out that this is just a dangerous idea, and there needs to be a different solution, and we hope we can work with the city to achieve that solution. So again, I invite you all to attend, if your schedules allow, Thursday at 6 o'clock, and sit and talk with us and see the area firsthand. The current plan needs to be revised, and it needs to be revised before somebody gets hurt. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Next is Bryce Fisher. Bryce Fisher.
Good evening, Mayor Levin and ladies and gentlemen of the council. My name is Bryce Fisher. I own the house at 555 West Fay Avenue in Elmhurst. I've lived there since 2011, and many of my neighbors here have spoken to you already. I won't repeat what they say, but we've got an awesome street, and what the decision that you guys are making is candidly very bad. I think people are bidding off of a screen, and I'd like people to come and spend time on that street. In my house, I've raised 4 children. I've got 2 smaller ones, age 5 and 3. My neighbor has one, 4 and 2. My neighbor here has 6 grandchildren that come through. Across the street, just moved in, 4 and 2. And what your guys' decision is you're gonna run a bike path through all of these all of these driveways, up to a street that dead ends, and people are gonna have to make a left or a right. Like, if you're going to do this, this should happen at a 4-way stop. It shouldn't happen at a 2-way stop. As a business owner, I would never have a traffic pattern that looks like this. I agree that you guys should just come and see the street, see what the decision that you're making and the impact that it's going to have. Because if I lose one of my kids, we're all going to have a problem. Thank you.
Joanne Garcia.
Garcia?
I'm short. Take a moment. Hello, and thank you for the opportunity to speak with you. My name's Joanne Garcia. My husband Mike and I have lived at 536 Fay for over 20 years. We're part of the inaugural residents on the block. My house is impacted directly by the pedestrian and bike path. I don't want to repeat everything you've heard from all my neighbors. I echo all of their concerns. Throwing out a few extra pieces of information. If you've ever been near Fay during the start of school in the morning, you will see numerous parents parked on our block. So not only is it the foot traffic, there's parents parking, walking their children to school. Wouldn't it make more sense, as you've heard from our neighbors, to consider a street where there's a four-way stop that's further away from the school, further away from Fay, number one? You know, I think I am personally fearful of backing out of my driveway. I will tell you that, and that's for real. It's frightening to look at the e-bikes whizzing down the block, adding school children and pedestrians, et cetera. So, want to echo everything that you've heard. Let's see, what else do I want to say? I want to touch on property value. You know, we all moved to Elmhurst because we value what the city brings to us. We value our home and the property value. I'll be very honest with you. If I were shopping for a home, I wouldn't be bidding on a home that had a bike path going through as a sidewalk in front of it. I haven't seen anywhere else in Elmhurst where we have a bike path that is part of the sidewalk. And if there is one, I apologize. If we can put a bike path in the street for every other bike path in Elmhurst, why do we have to choose an actual driveway and sidewalk to place this path? Again, very supportive of the project, understand why residents want it, but there has to be a better way to do this that keeps everybody in balance. Throwing out a wild idea. Behind us is Mary Queen of Heaven. As you may know, some of the houses that we all live in now were purchased from land that Mary Queen of Heaven sold. What about buying 10 more feet of property from them, putting the bike path behind our homes? Crazy idea. It probably costs as much as you're going to spend building a bike path on Fay through our driveway. You know, I certainly agree that Fay is a speedway. Asking pedestrians and bikers to come south on Fay to get, south on West to get to Fay is very dangerous. It makes tremendous sense to look at Armitage where there's a four-way stop. What are the alternatives and the options there? So I'll stop. Again, appreciate your time. Thank you for the consideration to potentially consider some options for the path, not the project, but we'd appreciate your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael Garcia.
Is it Mr.
Michael Garcia?
He passes?
No. Okay. That's it, Mayor.
All right, that's the list of those who signed up in advance to make public comment during our public forum session this evening. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to make public comment that did not have the opportunity to sign in? If so, please raise your hand. All right, then, yes, sir.
A couple more.
My name is Richard Helm. I live at 554 West Armitage. I've lived there for 30 years. And so, like was just mentioned, Joanne just mentioned, yeah, they bought the land from Mary Queen of Heaven. That was my backyard. My kids would go out there and play ball, t-ball, baseball, softball. We used to sit in the backyard, watch the deer. We'd be able to pretty much watch our kids walk to Emerson. And they built the houses. That was progress. That was change. We dealt with it. It took a while. It was frustrating. It changed. Everything's good. I support this bridge 100%, and
we will use it, and I look forward to crossing the bridge and taking my grandson fishing over at Cricket Creek. I'm definitely 100% in favor of the bridge. Thank you.
Someone else had their hand up.
Hi, Mayor. I'm Joel Bernstein, 619 Fay. My neighbor made a good point. We need speed bumps on Fay. It's kind of like a racetrack. These kids run up and down there like crazy, and someone's going to get hurt. So, be appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, is there anyone else that would like to make public comment? All right, I'm going to close public forum this evening. Thank you all for your comments. We'll move on to announcements. Are there any announcements from the dais? Alderman Virgil.
Just want to remind folks about the Ward 5 Town Hall meeting that is coming up a week from tonight at 7 p.m. at the library in the large first floor conference room. We'll have both of the Ward 5 aldermen there, and it's a good chance to hear what's going on in the ward, in the city, with the ability to ask questions and find out more. Thanks.
All right. Any other announcements? Alderman Hill.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to thank the community for both the business and the residents for coming out to support last week's Street Eats and Beats Festival, sponsored by the Lake York Business Association. It was a great turnout, and I would consider it a successful event. So thanks to the organizers, and hopefully the residents that attended it had a good time. Thank you.
All right, thank you. One moment, please. Okay. All right, thank you. Any other announcements? Alderman Bastido.
Thank you, Mayor. On Monday, September 8th, the Public Works Committee is going to start 30 minutes earlier than usual, so at 6:30, to give us a chance to discuss the KEB. So all aldermen or members of the public who would like to come, hear more about the KEB.
What's the KEB?
Capital Expenditure Budget.
All right, thank you.
This is something that we've
Our
done
capital
years
budget.
prior,
All right.
so aldermen may be familiar with the process. So I just wanted to make sure everyone is
All
aware
right,
of that.
and thank you. All right, that's the end of announcements. We're going to go to the consent agenda. I'm going to ask Clerk Tamer first to read the consent agenda.
6.1 minutes of the regular meeting of the Elmhurst City Council on August 18th, 2025. 6.2 accounts payable September 2nd, 2025, $3,991,188.47. 6.3 referral citywide garage sale. 6.4 report cybersecurity monitoring. 6.5 report city phone system. 6.6 report First Street parking restrictions. 6.7 report update of liquor license fees. 6.8 report neighborhood traffic study area number 4, 6.9 report neighborhood traffic study area number 5, 6.10 2025 sidewalk replacement program construction bids, 6.11 atrium sanitary lift station pump 1 replacement, 6.12 intergovernmental agreement addendum County Line Road, Grand Avenue to Lake Street, 6.13 report intergovernmental agreement addendum County Line Road I-294 to North Avenue, 6.14 an ordinance approving the execution of a non-exclusive license agreement by and between Elmhurst University and the City of Elmhurst, DuPage and Cook Counties, Illinois. 6.15 an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of a non-exclusive license agreement by and between the Spring Road Business Association and the City of Elmhurst, DuPage and Cook Counties, Illinois. 6.16 an ordinance to approve and authorize the execution of an intergovernmental agreement between the Forest Preserve District of DuPage County and the City of Elmhurst for the conveyance of certain property east of Illinois Route 83 within the Cricket Creek Forest Preserve. 6.17 an ordinance to approve and authorize the execution of a permanent and temporary easement agreement with the Forest Preserve District of DuPage County for a trail and bridge within the Cricket Creek Forest Preserve. 6.18, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a local public agency agreement for federal participation by and between the City of Elmhurst and the Illinois Department of Transportation in connection with the pedestrian and bicycle bridge over Illinois Route 83. 6.19, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of the local public agency engineering services agreement for the pedestrian and bicycle bridge over the Illinois Route 83 project. And 6.20, a resolution determining the estimated property taxes to be levied by the City of Elmhurst for the 2025 tax year.
All right, thank you. Is there any item on the consent agenda? Well, actually, let me start out with item 6. All right, is there any item on the consent agenda that any alderman would like to pull to either vote against or for further discussion? Alderman Schenko.
6.7.
All right, 6.7. Is she moving to continue? All right. Alderman Bellinger.
6.6.
6.6. Alderman Baker.
6.8.
6.8. Alderman Bram.
6.19.
6.19. Alderman Irby.
Thank you, Mayor. 6.5.
6.5. We won't have much of a consent agenda left here.
We don't have it up right now.
All right, anyone on this side? All right, I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda minus items 6.5, 6, 7, 8.
Alderman Nardini.
Alderman Nardini.
Sorry, no, I was...
Oh, sorry.
You'll be the first one I call on. Motion to approve the consent agenda minus 6.5, 6, 7, 8, and 19. Motion by Alderman Nardini, seconded by Alderman Hill. Roll call, please.
Nudera.
Aye.
Virgil.
Aye.
Nardini.
Aye.
Bastido.
Aye.
Irby.
Aye.
Brennan, absent. Vreeman's absent. Bellinger.
Aye.
Hill.
Aye.
Schenko.
Aye.
Bram.
Aye.
Jensen.
Aye.
Toledo.
Aye.
Baker.
Aye.
12 ayes, 0 nays, 2 absent.
All right, 12 ayes, 0 nays, 2 absent. The consent agenda minus 6.5 through 8 and 619 passes. We'll go on to 6.5. Clerk Tamer, please read the report.
6.5, it is therefore the recommendation of the Finance Council Affairs and Administrative Services Committee that the proposal submitted by T-Mobile for the dial-pad cloud-based phone system in the total amount of $193,000 be accepted and the city attorney prepare the appropriate city council documents. Signed, Alderman James Nudera, Vice Chair, Alderman Jacob Hill, and Alderman Dan Virgil, absent Alderman Noel Toledo, Chair.
All right, can I have a motion to approve 6.5? Alderman Toledo with a motion, Alderman Nudera with a second, Alderman Toledo.
I'll defer to the alderman that pulled this. Thank you.
Alderman Irby.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Mayor. I'll make this quick since we have a long list of items we're pulling. The phone system replacement is 10 years old, as the report says. I don't know how many phones there are in the report. The cost of the system is more than we're currently paying from what how the report is written. And then thirdly, I'm not a big proponent of going to the cloud with T-Mobile, which is Deutsche Telekom. I think we ought to be keeping our services with a company that's based in the U.S. I know T-Mobile has an office in the U.S., but they're owned by Deutsche Telekom, and I think that's not a good maneuver. So on those 3 points, I will be voting no. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Irby. Any other discussion? Alderman Toledo.
I'll just reiterate based on the report that, yes, it is slightly more than the current cost, including the circuits that we pay for the phone lines and the maintenance, but this is a more reliable system for our police and fire and all of our public works personnel. It is more in line with the mobile and efficient way that we work in the city this day and age. And because it is in the cloud, it is backed up and always accessible, even if there is a geographic outage in our geographic region. Thank you.
Thank you. Additional discussion? Clerk Tamer, call the roll.
Nudera,
Aye.
Virgil,
Aye.
Nardini,
Aye.
Estido,
Aye.
Irby,
No.
Brennan absent, Varimus absent, Bellinger,
Aye.
Hill,
Aye.
Schenko,
Aye.
Graham,
Aye.
Jensen,
Aye.
Toledo,
Aye.
Baker,
Aye.
11 ayes, 1 nay, 2 absent.
11 ayes, 1 nay, 2 absent. 6.5 passes. On to 6.6. Clerk Tamer, read the report.
It is therefore the recommendation of the Public Affairs and Safety Committee that the City Council approve the creation of additional 2-hour and 10-minute parking stalls along the north side of First Street between 175 West First Street and Addison Avenue, and allow the city attorney to prepare any necessary documents for City Council, for the City Council. Signed, Alderman Michael Brennan, Chair, Alderman Karen Schenko, Vice Chair, and Alderman Brian Bellinger.
Can I have a motion to approve 6.6? Alderman Schenko, second. Alderman Bellinger. I think we'll go directly to Alderman Bellinger on this one.
Yes, I just make a motion to amend that report. I was not at that meeting, so to amend the report to not have my signature.
All right. And we have a motion to remove Alderman Bellinger's signature from the report. Second by Alderman Schenko. Any discussion? All right.
Just voting on that, right?
I think we can do a roll call on this one. Or you want a voice vote, okay? Is a voice vote okay on this one? Yeah, we'll do a voice vote on this one. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. All right, so Alderman Bellinger's signature is removed. We're on to the main report. Any additional discussion, Alderman Schenko?
No.
All right, any other discussion? Alderman Irby?
Thank you, Mayor. I went out and visited the site right before coming to council tonight, and there are 4 parking spaces that are further to the west that are in front of the artwork and right lined up, starting where the drive comes out from the second parking lot closest to the train tracks. Those 4 parking spaces are allocated on a 22 net. After you put the parking spaces in, there'll be 22 feet left from the edge of the parking space to the north where the new cars would park in those designated painted spots to the curb, which there is no curb. It's simply a waterway, so that when you drive into the parking spaces at a 90 degree for the train, it's tight. So when you do come out of those spots, if you were a commuter and you parked in one of those spots, you cannot turn your car without crossing the middle of the road and pretty much going 2/3 into the westbound lane or the north lane. Not a game stopper, just the road is tight there. I think I heard public comments on that, and I would concur 100%. The other spots off of Addison were the 2 10-minute zones, and I believe I won't count them here, but the other spots minus the 4, those seem practical. So I checked the line of sights. I felt pretty comfortable with that. So I think the only problem I had was those 4 spots to the west where the road's just too tight, in my opinion. I'm not an engineer, but I was uncomfortable watching the people cross when they get off the Metro train. They just hurried right across. No one used the crossing lane out of 25 people that got off the train at 6:05 today. They went just spread out across the road over there, and I don't know how in the world anybody's going to miss them or hit them, but luckily the traffic was low on car count. Human traffic was high. So I think to me it seems like maybe we need to look at that a little further. From what I looked at, I was uncomfortable voting, with 100% yes tonight. So at this point, I'll defer back to the mayor with my time.
All right. Any additional discussion? Clerk Tamer, call the roll.
Nudera,
Aye.
Virgil,
Aye.
Nardini,
Aye.
Bastido?
Aye.
Irby?
No.
Brennan? Absent. Varimus absent. Bellinger?
Aye.
Hill?
Aye.
Shanko?
Aye.
Graham?
Aye.
Jensen?
Aye.
Toledo now absent. Baker?
Aye.
10 ayes, 1 nay, 3 absent.
10 ayes?
Noel left.
Oh, I missed her. Thank you. 10 ayes, 1 nay, 3 absent.
Correct.
All right, 6.6 passes. Thank you. 6.7, would you read the report, please?
Yeah. It is therefore the recommendation of the Public Affairs and Safety Committee that the City Council approve an update of the liquor license classifications and fees as presented and authorize the city attorney to make the necessary adjustments to the municipal code. Signed, Alderman Michael Brennan, Chair, Alderman Karen Schenko, Vice Chair, and Alderman Brian Bellinger.
All right, Alderman Schenko?
Yes, I pulled this in order to request a motion to defer the vote on this item to the next city council meeting.
I think she is the chair.
She is.
All right, we have a motion to defer to the date certain, the next city council meeting date. We have a second. Any discussion on that? All in
I'm
favor?
sorry, did Alderman Schenko do the motion and Alderman Bellinger seconded?
Right, they're
Okay,
keeping
thank
it
you.
all in the family. We do have discussion. Alderman Irby.
Yeah, real quick, thank you, Mayor. With that motion, does that mean we're only going to delay it, and that means that there's no guarantee it's going back to committee?
It's guaranteed not to go back to committee. It will be on the city council agenda next.
So no committee agenda is the plan? Correct. With
Right,
this
the
vote?
motion is to defer it to a date certain, which is the next city council meeting, not to committee.
Not to committee?
Correct.
All right, thank you.
All right, any other questions or discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. All right, and that motion is adopted, and we will see 6.7 at the next city council meeting. 6.5, Clerk Tamer, please read the report.
It is therefore the recommendation, 6.8, right, Mayor?
6.8, sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It is therefore the recommendation of the Public Affairs and Safety Committee that the City Council approve the Neighborhood Traffic Study Area Number 4 final report, and the city consider budgeting dollars in future years for the implementation of the recommendations, and that the city attorney be authorized to prepare the necessary documents, including any municipal code changes for the City Council approval. Signed, Alderman Michael Brennan, Chair, Alderman Karen Schenko, Vice Chair, and Alderman Brian Bellinger.
All right, can I have a motion to put 6.8 before the council? Alderman Schenk with a motion, Alderman Bellinger with a second. Do you have comment on that?
I do not. I defer to Alderman Baker.
Alderman Baker.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In the few months that I have served as an alderperson, increased traffic and gridlock in Elmhurst have been primary issues for residents of the 4th Ward, exacerbated by tollway construction and I-290 construction. Last year, for those of you that don't know, the city of Elmhurst retained a firm to continue various neighborhood traffic studies. Data used for studies of areas 4 and 5, as they are called, much of which are in the 4th Ward, was largely based on a time prior to highway construction of I-290 and 294. After reviewing these studies, I'm concerned about the recommendations they make and that they aren't sufficiently tailored to the unique needs of each ward, and specifically to the needs of the 4th Ward. First, the studies recommend a proliferation of new stop signs on streets with no history of reported traffic issues or on streets which were not part of the study itself, presumably due to lack of traffic on those streets. Study 5 recommends a total of approximately 16 new stop signs. Study 4 recommends 14 new stop signs be posted. Stop signs have been placed in other wards at various T intersections, but I'm not sure what objective these new signs will serve when placed in locations with no cited safety concerns. Stop sign effectiveness depends on proper placement and warranted conditions. Improperly or excessively installed stop signs can decrease safety by causing drivers to ignore them, leading to rolling stops, driver frustration, and false sense of security for pedestrians and other drivers. In Study 4, the intersection at Schiller and Haven, adjacent behind Jewel and Osco, right over here, and the Elmhurst, Edward Elmhurst Health Center was noted as having the most crash incidents. This was the only intersection in the study area with more than 3 total crashes, with 8 crashes over approximately the 3-year study period. Despite documented problem, this report makes no recommendations to improve safety there. After speaking with Chair Brennan, city staff was to review potential means to make this intersection safer. In Study 5, which includes some of the in Study 5, Park Avenue had the highest average speed over the posted speed limit. Yet the report recommended only the installation of 2 radar speed signs to notify drivers of their speed. In fact, radar speed signs are often considered more of a short-term solution. Creative ideas to slow traffic on this well-traveled street would be helpful. Chair Brennan did say the city would monitor the street for potential calming measures in the future. I had hoped for traffic studies that would provide stronger insight into each area and uniquely tailored solutions to improve traffic patterns, but I don't think I gleaned that from the reports we are voting on tonight. I hope the future traffic studies would provide stronger direction for long-term solutions and prioritize areas with identified problems when recommending changes. Although I appreciate the good work of the Public Affairs Committee, they have been responsive to my questions and comments regarding these studies. I cannot support these reports because of my concerns regarding both proposed additional signage and the lack of recommended improvements in areas which should have been addressed. I will be voting no on their approval. And this pertains to 6.8, and some of these comments are on 6.9, although that has passed already.
Very good.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Additional discussion? Alderman Bram.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I concur with a lot of the points of Alderman Baker stated already, so I'm not going to reiterate that. I think one of the studies, I think it's number 4. After a while, these numbers start to kind of blur. But I believe it's traffic study number 4 does encompass part of the 3rd Ward. And some of the areas, especially due to cut-through traffic, and I don't know if it's due to the North Avenue 290, 294 construction or not, but it definitely has increased since that construction has started. A lot of cut-through traffic, and I'm not trying to say that stop signs or any type of traffic control device would prevent cut-through traffic. That's not the purpose of the devices in itself, according to the MUTCD. But what I am saying is that there has been requests, especially recently, from some of our residents in regards to no left turns coming off of some of these side streets going onto North Avenue, as well as North Avenue going onto some of these side streets in York. I do understand North Avenue is not controlled by the city of Elmhurst, and therefore it is not controlled or not within the boundaries of this study. But I think that is something that needs to be accelerated either by the consultant themselves or city council to look at what is being caused through all this cut-through traffic and backup traffic, not only due to the construction, but just overall. Like I said, I concur with Alderman Baker, but I think there does need to be some additional work done on these streets, especially in the 3rd Ward.
All right, thank you, Alderman Bram. Alderman Jensen.
Thank you, Mayor. So I was, 3rd Ward, obviously one of the 3rd Ward aldermen. I was at both the meetings where this report was discussed in Public Affairs and Safety. Luckily, we had a light agenda that night in my committee. And I want to say that the stop signs that they're adding, at least north of 3rd, like in our ward, I fully support. They're doing, or the report recommends, which I think might be a first, at least I've seen from one of these reports, testing out traffic calming measures along some of these streets where there's a lot of cut-through traffic, which I think is outstanding, and possibly a model for other places in town where we have these issues. And I fully support all of the recommendations for no parking during some of the school pickup times around Field, because I live right near there, I walk my kids there. Sometimes when weather's bad, we drive there, but it's currently a disaster, and I think that a lot of the parking restrictions will certainly help that. So I fully support this report, and there's always stuff we could be doing, but this is certainly a good start.
Thank you, Alderman Jensen. All right, no additional discussion. Clerk Tamer, call the roll.
Nudera?
Aye.
Virgil?
Aye.
Nardini?
Aye.
Bastido?
Aye.
Irby?
No.
Brennan? Absent. Verimus? Absent. Bellinger?
Aye.
Hill?
Aye.
Shanko?
Aye.
Graham?
Aye.
Jensen?
Aye.
Chaluto? Absent. Baker?
No.
9 ayes, 2 nays, 3 absent.
9 ayes, 2 nays, 3 absent. 6.8 is adopted. 6.19, Clerk Tamer, please read the resolution.
A resolution approving and authorizing the execution of the local public agency engineering services agreement for the pedestrian and bicycle bridge over Illinois Route 83 project.
All right, I have a motion to put, motion to approve 619. Alderman Bastido, second. Alderman Irby. Alderman Bastido.
Thank you, Mayor. Council should be familiar with this project. This is a resolution that pertains to the Route 83 pedestrian bike bridge. So this idea came about from a referral that was a response to residents' request in 2018. So there have been a lot of steps along the way, including Phase 1 engineering in September of 2019. I believe the first open house on this was in 2021, and there were changes made to the plan based on some concerns of residents on Fay regarding parking restrictions. Since then, there have been other open houses and other major changes made to the project, including secondary access points. So where the project used to just have one route onto Fay, now there's a Y in the path heading eastbound, so traffic can go either to Garden or to Fay. There was additional signage added, and some sharrows were added to the pavement to encourage bikers on the street. So major changes have been made. Based on the open house and comments received, there's overwhelming support from residents for this because it is a much safer route over 83 than what is currently available to residents, especially on the north side. So I ask for your support.
Thank you. Additional discussion, Alderman Braham.
Yes, thank you. No surprise. Did the same 2 weeks ago in regards to the reports for this. Route 83 pedestrian bridge to me is a nice to have. The budget from our funds, from the Capital Improvement Fund, has increased from $714,000 to a little bit over $1.4 million, and that's not including the grants. That's what's coming out of our quote-unquote Capital Improvement Fund bank account, if you will. And that's not including any of the dollars that we've already spent in previous years, which I forgot those numbers at home, but I'm going to throw them out there, couple $100,000 that we've already spent. I think that it's a great plan overall. Thank you to all the residents who've come out tonight. I do hear those concerns. My reason for voting no on this is because it's a nice to have and not a need to have, and we have more, to me at least, more important capital improvement projects, and especially seeing a 100% increase in funds from $700,000 to $1.4 million plus from one year to the next is enough for me not to want to move forward with it.
All right. Additional discussion. Alderman Irby.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm a little taken back here on the council tonight with this sheet here. This is the first time, unless I'm having a senior moment, this is the first time I'm seeing the alternate route to the bridge. I'm flabbergasted.
Well, this was on the
Someone elaborate for me, please.
Yeah, this was added to the website on the plan in June of this year, and it was passed out as additional information just so you would have a copy on the dais. It's nothing new. Well, nothing new as of today.
Okay, with that said, Mayor, thank you.
So
What is the-
this is showing the change that was made based, there were actually two open houses, one in September and one in December, I think, of 2021. And part of it was, again, not to go too deep, but some of this is dictated by IDOT, and they're the ones that dictated either we vacate the parking on the street, meaning no parking on Fay Street, or this 8-foot sidewalk would be a requirement, or the project wouldn't happen. So the resident input was to go with the sidewalk, but to have an alternative plan, so this allows the second access point. The purpose of this is just to show what was done and why. Well, not why, but what was done. So this isn't intended to be a new piece of information. Alderman Bastido?
Yes, Alderman Irby, at our committee where we approved this report, staff informed us that they had been working with residents and the aldermen in this ward, and that they had made some changes based on those comments. So you were informed then that we had made some changes, and no, we didn't see this map at that time.
Okay. I guess my question would be, because I do remember coming to the public forum here and looking at the easels, and I just don't remember I wrote on top, number one. I know the audience can't see it, but number one, can we call that the newer entrance in the design? Is that a fair way of describing it?
It's a secondary access point that was added.
Secondary access point, so was that added after number 3?
I believe at the same time, but Alderman Bastido?
Correct. These were all added after the open house and discussion with neighbors at the request of neighbors to have alternate routes to alleviate some of the traffic.
Okay, so number 3 was the original, in the bottom drawing where it says number 3 circle, that's showing in the initial plans, even though it doesn't say number 3 up there, that is the same number 3 if I look at the diagram.
Well, so the secondary access point, number 1, the Garden and West Avenue directional signage, number 2, and the Sharrows added to pavement were all improvements made at the same time based on input from the open houses.
Great, I do appreciate all that. I'm like I said, I'm still flabbergasted. Maybe I did have a senior moment. I apologize to everybody. So I guess my question would be, I don't know if it could be answered tonight, is do we still need number 3, or is number 1 enough access to get all the bikes in there? I mean, why do you need 2 access points, I guess is my question.
Yeah,
and maybe that's something we shouldn't be deliberating at the dais. So
number 3, you have to look at, those are the Sharrows, or the markings on the pavement.
Okay, I got you. All right.
Okay.
I see the number 3, yeah. I'm just, the way they're worded on top of showing on top of the routes. So I'll retract that statement to being, those aren't paths, those are a Sharrow added to pavement. So that is the original path that I saw at the open house. So I don't even know if it's a number anymore. Number 1 is valid, secondary access point added. So what is our action point here tonight on this?
Well, we're passing a report, and this particular, it's a resolution, for an engineering service agreement. Do you want to add anything, Alderman Bastido or Alderman
I think I'm done with my comments or questions. I'll become unflabbergasted and reserve take my time back.
Never too late for a senior moment, believe me. All right. Alderman Hill.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to reiterate during this process that Chair Bastido outlined, Alderman Shanko and I have had several meetings with staff where we've heard comments from the residents and at the open house that was held, and also feedback that we received individually, and we've had discussions about many of the alternatives that we may have heard tonight and elsewhere, and we have I think it's worth saying that we have investigated the feasibility of some of the alternate methods in which the path could be routed or ways in which it could be addressed. And I think it's important to say that staff and the alderman went down those roads, figuratively speaking, and tried to figure out other ways that the path could be routed. That being said, the last round, the last open house, and the neighborhood input that we received, we did have a meeting about that specifically. We did go over the path that was last seen by the neighborhood in the neighborhood open house. And what some of the residents may not be aware of is that, again, to Alderman Irby's point, there has been subsequent changes to the path, incorporating some of the feedback we heard from residents. So I think what we tried to do is be sensitive to what the neighbors requested and check to see the feasibility of what we could do given the constraints of the project. And I think we have tried to address those, and I wish I don't know if they're aware of these because it's online in a project list on our city website, but they may not be aware of all the changes subsequently since the open house that has been made. And I encourage the residents to talk to their alderman, and perhaps at the the town hall meeting, we'll have a chance to communicate all these changes, but I do believe they reflect significantly some of the best improvements we could do at this time to the project.
And by the way, let me clarify my previous comment. The original open house was in September of 21. There was an offer, but no takers for a second one in December of 21, and the actual second open house was in June of this year. So when I said there was 2 in December, it was 1 was offered. But just to make clear what I misspoke about. Additional discussion? All right, Clerk Tamer, call the roll.
Nudera?
Aye.
Virgil?
Aye.
Nardini?
Aye.
Bastido?
Aye.
Irby?
Aye.
Brennan? Absent. Farimas? Absent. Bellinger?
Aye.
Hill?
Aye.
Schenko?
Aye.
Graham?
No.
Jensen?
Aye.
Toledo absent. Baker?
Aye.
11 ayes, 1 nay, 3 absent.
11 ayes, 1 nay, 3 absent.
Let me redo my math, Mayor.
Are there 2 nays?
It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10.
10.
I can't count,
10
Mayor,
ayes.
sorry. It is 10 ayes,
10 ayes.
1 nay, 3 absent.
All right, 10 ayes, 1 nay, 3 absent, 619 passes. All right, thank you on that.
Night for me here.
We're going to go to reports and recommendations of elected officials. I have a few. One is I want to thank the sponsors of Q for a Cause for a wonderful fundraising event that was important for those of us that don't have summer homes to have somewhere to go on Sunday, Labor Day weekend. They did a great job putting together. They do every year. Looking forward, Rock the Block is this Friday and Saturday. It's our neighborhood party. If you haven't been there, I encourage everyone to come out and celebrate with us. The following week is Beer Fest. And for the aldermen who had these gift bags delivered with a anniversary glass, this is the 10th anniversary of our Beer Fest, which is the major fundraiser for our History Museum and Heritage Foundation, I say, which benefits our History Museum. I will be volunteering as a celebrity pourer or just a pourer, whatever you want. I know some of the other aldermen have volunteered, so if you have time, it's a lot of fun, and I hope you'll come out and join us for that. The last item is, as you see the bunting up here, Elaine Libovitz passed away on Sunday. She was our previous city treasurer, where she served for 8 years, from 2013 to 2021. She was our city clerk from 1981 to 85. I'm not going to read all of this. She was very involved in public service in our community. She was on the DuPage Housing Authority, where she served as vice chair and executive director. The DuPage County Personnel Policy Commission. She was actually a 4-year term in 1974 to 78 on the DuPage County Board. She was on the Forest Preserve Commission for 4 years, the Development Commission, and PADS, Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce Ambassador, DuPage Council for Child Development, League of Women Voters, Rotary, Friends of the Elmhurst Library. I'm just picking a few here, the Elmhurst Craft Beer Festival. She was involved in so many things, made so many contributions to our community, and she was the winner of the Darrell Whistler Volunteer Award, I think, in '23. So it's a loss for our community, and I just wanted to acknowledge her service and ask for just 15 seconds of silence, if you will. All right, thank you all very much. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Just one item, a reminder that refuse service is delayed one day this week due to the Labor Day holiday. Thank you.
Right. Other business. Is there any other business to be brought before the council this evening? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn. Alderman Ardini with a motion, Alderman Dare with a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. We are adjourned. Thank you all.